welcome back to another episode of The Realm Season 2. I am mining for ancient debris right now, and my gosh, it is so boring. This is so boring. So, I just wish we had, I don't know, some TNT perhaps? Maybe? You know? So, let's make a creeper farm. Why not? Guys, I have a problem. I am tired of eating these stupid potatoes. Luckily, however, there is a solution to my problems. Because here at spawn, there is a pumpkin pie shop. And that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be buying some pumpkin pie. So let's get rid of these stupid potatoes and run over here to this little pumpkin cart and buy some pumpkin pie. Oh my goodness. We'd buy all of that. I think it's 1 diamond per. Oh, much better. Much better. Alright. Now that we got pumpkin pie as our new food source, yummy, yummy pie, I want to do some base building and actually make progress towards our base. So, here is a time lapse of the first actual proper house in Fairy Core. Let's go. Alright, so after the time lapse, I did a bit of more work off camera. So without further ado, if we just spin in a twirl and look at it, which shade is on, and it actually turned out so good of a build. Now, as with the sign with a book on the hanging sign, the smoke coming out the chimney, and then the trees surrounding it, closing it, making it more all comfy feeling of like of a cozy cabin in the woods. Now, and also we have our little librarian here who is a writer and a book reader who you can see it actually might be working on a whole new novel, as I've written lore for this guy. So the lore is that he likes writing novels about like cowboys, and those are the 3 cowboy novels he has already written. And it looks like he started on a 4th one. It looks like. But I really like how he comes down to this workstation every day when it's daytime and goes back up to go to sleep in bedtime. But at the moment, that's all he does. He stands here and tries to go to bed. I think it's probably because it's too low, maybe, but he's trying to go to bed. That's the main point. I don't know. So, and it's just such a cozy feeling. I think what helped me design this build was the fact I had lore to the character, to the librarian already, and that really helped me make like a cabin in the woods type feel, you know. And this is really dark over here. I kept this back garden dark, so you can see, and I made this more like a little bit like worn down, very muddy, because you don't get much sun here, and just, you know, just where his chimney is. And yeah, I am really pleased with this build, to be honest. So earlier this week, we had a faction event where one person on each faction goes up on this stage and explains what their faction is about. Now, this will be the part where, in the video, where you see the event. Unfortunately, I didn't like how my footage turned out, and so I'm just gonna go and do a recap. The first faction that came up was my faction, Fairy Core, who consists of myself, Ursa Midnight, Swish Marbish, Hamish, and another member who goes by Lizzie, who hasn't joined the server yet. And we, as a group, decided to have Swish Marbish to read a speech the rest of us wrote, because we fairies, we don't like to have a leader. We prefer to work together, achieve our goals, and make sure we have a high amount of PMA. Positive mental attitude. Basically, we're a supportive group who are very supportive and peaceful. Up next was the Cats, who consist of Christy Creative, Kai, and Gatoxeo. The Cats chose Christy to represent them. Christy mentioned the fact that humans have 1 life and that cats have 9. Now, you would think that this is just for cats only, and you'll be correct. However, Christy then says that if you are wanting to join, then they'll have their local scientist cat, Gatoxeo, turn you into one with a machine that they have built. The cats are proud farmers, so food is not an issue. Up next were the Pirates, which consist of Jenna Bucket and Sage. They both decided to have Jenna speak for their group. Now, remember the cat machine that the cats made? Well, let's just say they needed a test subject. And well, Jenna was just that. So, with that out of the way, Jenna did a speech saying that her faction actually lives on the water. And they have loads, and I mean loads of fish. And that's basically it. Now, it's probably good to mention that the next group was the Phoney Pirates. And this was the group that Jenna was referring to when she said that her faction actually lives on the water. I'm unfortunately not going to recap this one because what this group did when they spoke, because it soon took a big mental toll on my mental health. So I hope you all understand. So if you want to know more about the Phoney Pirates, I highly suggest going to the other members' videos. There will be links in the descriptions. Once again, I'm so sorry, but I just cannot talk about it. Last, but certainly not least, there are the Princess Sisters, who consist of Royal Vera and Chicken Is Online, who is ironically was not at the event. Anyway, they traveled for far and wide to create a new kingdom in this land. That's basically it. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the recap. On to the next clip. So I think I'm going to end the episode here. So if you made it to the end of the video, make sure to like, comment, made it, and subscribe. And once again, have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.